listener production.
From the briefing team, this is The Beefing.
Welcome back to The Beefing. I'm Alexandria Funnell, and today's entertainment beef is honestly one of my fave celeb feuds ever. I am, of course, talking about Taylor Swift versus Kanye West. And with Tay-Tay officially entering her Showgirl era, what better time to revisit one of the biggest beefs in showbiz history? Starting from one single stage interruption and evolving into a full-blown cultural phenomenon, this beef has been going for 15 years. And no matter which side you're on, there's no denying it shaped the careers and the legacies of both of these music juggernauts. This beef is a big one, and to do it full justice, this episode is a little longer than usual. We really do need to cover it all. Now, let's go back to the moment that lit the fuse and fired up the beef. It's September 13th, 2009 at the MTV VMAs. A 19-year-old Taylor Swift has just won Best Female Video for You Belong With Me. She's up there with her beaming grin, shimmering dress, giving her acceptance speech when suddenly Kanye West enters stage right, snatches the mic and drops the now infamous line,
"Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time. One of the best videos of all time."
Liquid courage or just extreme confidence. The man's got guts or arrogance. Now, here's the thing. Was Single Ladies an incredible video? Absolutely. It was iconic. But you don't interrupt a teenager's moment to make that point. And the man was 32 at the time. The backlash to Kanye's interruption of Taylor's acceptance speech was swift. Celebrities rushed to Twitter to call him every name under the sun. Even Obama weighed in.
The young lady seems like a perfectly nice person. She's getting her award. What's he doing?
Why would he do that?
He's a jackass.
However, the bit that got lost in Kanye's ill-timed protest and the underlying point he was trying to make about black representation was still valid. It was just delivered in a problematic way. In the years since, plenty of artists have echoed the same sentiment. The Weeknd, Frank Ocean, Kendrick Lamar, even Jay-Z has called out the Grammys for overlooking black performers. The conversation about representation has only grown louder. After the incident, he was booed off stage. He then went on to apologise to Taylor Swift backstage and took to Twitter in all caps to explain himself, saying it was very sorry and Taylor is amazing and talented. One thing about Kanye is that we always know his caps lock is working. This turns out to be a key turning point in the pair's long history because really, Kanye could have just left it there. He'd apologised, move on. But did he? No, he did not. In very Kanye fashion, as the years go by, he starts taking back his apology in interviews, saying, "No, actually, I don't regret interrupting Taylor. She didn't deserve to win." Wow. In 2012, Rolling Stone mag did a profile on Taylor and her Nashville home, and you can see above the fireplace is a photo of the moment Kanye stormed the stage with the caption, "Life is full of little interruptions." Was this where we got our first taste of Taylor's talent for Easter eggs? Not sure. It should be noted that during this time, Kanye went quiet and disappeared into creative mode. And what he came back with was extraordinary. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, an album born from being universally hated, is still arguably one of the greatest hip-hop albums ever made and one of my personal all-time faves. Pure sonic brilliance with brutal self-reflection and vulnerability we'd rarely seen from him. It reminded everyone why Kanye was considered a genius in the first place. Kanye was back in good favour with the public. It's amazing how forgiving people are of people's transgressions when their art is good. Around this era, things between Taylor appear to be on at least what seems to be good terms. There were friendly selfies at the Grammys, public hugs, huge flowers. Taylor even rocked a Kanye t-shirt. It looked like peace had come. Kanye even said at this time, and this is a backhanded compliment if ever I've heard one, he said he's thought about collaborating with Swift, adding, "I don't discriminate based on how many Grammys you've got." The irony of Taylor Swift going on to win dozens of Grammys should not be lost on anyone. We'll never know what went on behind the scenes to create this peace deal, but at one point, Taylor even presented Kanye with a huge award at the 2015 VMAs. A redemption arc for the pair if ever I saw one. All was quiet on the West Front. He was happily married to Kim Kardashian, and perhaps one could assume under the watchful eye of infamous momager Kris Jenner. But peace in celebrity land rarely lasts forever, especially when the likes of Kanye West and Taylor Swift are involved. Then comes 2016, where everything blows up. Kanye's release of his new album, The Life of Pablo, has a song on it called Famous, with the now infamous lyrics, I feel like me and Taylor might still have sex. Why? I made that bitch famous. Now, setting aside the fact that he's married to Kim Kardashian at this point, which makes the first line super weird, that second line is just admittedly a lot. As if the lyrics weren't enough, the famous music video comes out. And it's full on. It shows wax figures of celebrities naked in bed together, including Taylor laying next to Kim and Kanye, and in bed with Donald Trump and Bill Cosby. It's very ill, it's very uncomfortable, and the Swifties are furious. But Kanye claims he got Taylor's approval. He says that they had an hour-long phone call. She thought it was funny, gave her blessing. Taylor's team comes out swinging, denying ever approving any of this. And I quote, Kanye did not call for approval, but to ask Taylor to release his single, Famous, on her Twitter account. She declined and cautioned him about releasing a song with such a strong misogynistic message. Taylor was never made aware of the actual lyric, I made that bitch famous. And that right there is the key detail, because all of this will become a key part of the dispute, which will go on for almost another decade. Celebs, they sure can hold a grudge. At this time, Taylor's brother even posted a video of himself throwing his Yeezys in the trash. I low-key love this pettiness from Austin Swift because that is totally something that would genuinely offend and upset Kanye. Well played. Taylor furthers her stance at the Grammys that year in her acceptance speech that's clearly aimed at Kanye.
There are going to be people along the way who will try to undercut your success or take credit for your accomplishments or your fame.
Enter Kim Kardashian. After hinting for weeks that she had proof Kanye did get Taylor's approval, Kim dropped the bombshell on July 17th, 2016. Armed with Snapchat and so-called receipts, Kim releases a secretly recorded phone call between Kanye and Taylor, sending shockwaves through the internet. In the recording, you can hear Taylor saying she appreciates Kanye running the line past her and that it's obviously very tongue-in-cheek. She sounds really nice about it, to be honest. But here's the key detail that everyone missed. The recording doesn't include Kanye saying the line, I made that bitch famous. So it just includes the line, I feel like Taylor and I will still have sex, not the I made that bitch famous part. Apparently, that's the line Taylor insisted she had a problem with. Taylor's response to these videos was the now iconic, I would very much like to be excluded from this narrative, released on Notes app. But the damage was done. Twitter exploded with snake emojis. Hashtag Taylor Swift is over party started trending worldwide. Kim tweeted, wait, it's legit National Snake Day? With about 30 snake emojis. The internet had decided Taylor was a liar and she was cancelled. There was literally even a mural painted in Melbourne that said, in loving memory of Taylor Swift, 1989 to 2016, no tags, please respect the dead. Oof, people truly hated her, and I'm the first to admit I was Team Kanye during that era. Taylor essentially disappeared from public life for a whole year. Cue 2017. Taylor Swift mysteriously wipes her gram and drops a surprise album, Reputation, utilizing snake imagery. An album all about how her reputation had been destroyed and she was reclaiming it. It even had direct digs at Kanye and Kim. I remember at the time thinking this whole bad girl rebrand was super lame, But I'll be honest, the album actually aged really well. However, I believe her true comeback happened with her documentary, Miss Americana, in 2020. Taylor was incredibly vulnerable in that. She talked about how traumatic that 2009 VMAs moment was, how she thought everyone was booing at her when they were actually booing at Kanye. She opened up about her struggle with eating disorders, about the toll the public hatred took on her mental health. And yeah, she came across quite well. Then in March 2020, the full unedited phone call leaked. Turns out, Taylor hadn't heard the worst part of the lyrics. Swifties declared victory. Public opinion officially shifted. Maybe Taylor wasn't the calculated villain we all thought she was. From 2021 to 2023, things mostly calmed down between Kanye and Taylor, minus one bizarre tweet where Kanye suggested he would help her get her masters back. I don't think she needed you, Kanye, but nice try. Kim and Kanye divorced, and since then, we all know Kanye has continued to stir controversy, most recently in his documentary, In Whose Name, where he spectacularly unravels his legacy, showing his erratic behavior, public meltdowns, yelling at his family. It's a whole other story. Kim has continued to distance herself from her now clearly very unwell ex. She's even come out and said she likes Taylor's music. Okay, weird. North West danced to Shake It Off on TikTok, but Taylor wasn't exactly shaking anything off. No, she doesn't let a grudge go. Then came 2024. Taylor drops The Tortured Poets Department, a surprise album with the track Thank You, Amy. Capital letters spell out K-I-M. Lyrics about a bronze spray-tanned statue and a high school bully. But wait, it gets better. In August, she releases a live version and changes the title to spell out Y and E, now spelling Yay instead of Kim. The girl can hold a grudge. Kim lost over 100,000 Instagram followers, and Kanye, well, he had a lot of other things going on. After a history-making, record-breaking Eras tour, you'd think Taylor Swift would be finally ready to put the feud to bed. She's won. Let it go. But no, here comes her new album announcement. The Life of a Showgirl. Sound familiar? That's because it sounds a little bit like The Life of Pablo. Same phrasing, same orange tones, and when you Google The Life of, now Taylor's album comes up ahead of The Life of Pablo. Talk about algorithmic warfare. She even announced the album while wearing the same necklace as Kanye. But here's my controversial take. Taylor and Kanye are more alike than either of them would ever admit. I'd even go as far as to say that Runaway and Antihero are conceptually twins, both offering rare insight into their own bad behaviour. Both icons have built empires on controversy. Both make waves by pulling their personal lives into their art, and both have cult-like followings. They both throw people under the bus. Both are outspoken. Both have borne the brunt of having their reputations destroyed. Between them, they've got dozens of Grammys. What started with a 19-year-old getting interrupted on stage is still going. The beef is still going. They're now in their late 30s and 40s, but Taylor is making sure we never forget. But honestly, for me, the real takeaway from all of this, in the age of celebrity beefs, feuds don't really die. They just get recycled for albums, fan wars, and label profits. But that's showbiz, baby. Thank you very much for listening to today's episode of The Beefing. If you've got some beefs you'd like us to cover, let us know. There's so much beef out there and we want to cover it all. So slide into our DMs at The Briefing on Instagram or TikTok or wherever you chat with us. And yeah, let us know what you think in the comments and tell us what you want us to talk about. Bye.